What's up, everybody? Man, this is Mark One Gaming here, and I wanted to. Well, not I wanted to. I just had to say this. Let's talk about set two of this whole entire set right now of Dragon Ball Super Union Force. I wanted to go over just cards in general. Really things. It's like from set one to set two. You know, we got to talk about this. So, the stuff has been out for a week, coming up on two almost. And excuse me, I wanted to talk about, not so much every single card, because let's just face it, it's just another card, but I wanted to, like, kind of, how do you say, go over, things that made decks different, that are making the decks so different that, like, let's just, let's talk about this. So, probably gonna have to hold the car up. I don't, my editing right now, it's kind of messing up right now. So I have to do everything from my phone. I apologize for that. I know, like, the video quality is kind of nice, but let's talk about it. Let's talk about some of these leaders. Some of these leaders actually, push the game into another direction, make these colors go in directions that we weren't thinking about, or that, couldn't be, because we were limited on the card pool from the first one. So from here, let's just talk about some of these leaders, shall we? Let's start with one of my least favorite colors, but it's a color that I am pulling literally, like, godly in. Like, first of all, let's talk about yellow, and let's talk about Chilled. Now, Chilled isn't very strong himself. Kind of like, how Bobbity isn't. Or Bibbity. Bibbity. My bad. How do I say Bobbity? I was reading it. Alright. Anyways, let's talk about this. It's a permanent during your turn. He gains 5,000 power, which is really, it's okay. Kinda. He just basically goes to 15,000 by himself. He's not so, he's token. He's gonna play a lot of token in this game. Different from the Frieza build. I didn't really play too much of Frieza, although I have everything yellow. Like, hold on, let's go through this really quickly, and let's just, my SRs and my SPRs, the things that I pulled, this was my pulls. Something like, I got two of these as well, I got two of these things, so I guess I'm playing cooler. I guess I'll figure that out later. But back to what I was saying is that with yellow, with Frieza, you were sending out Frieza army using Frieza's power to not only ready energy, but to also gain huge advantages. So, there's things like that where it's just like, oh my god, like, tokens. Not to mention, we got two different variances to play yellow now. So now we got this Mecha Cooler whereas with Mecha Cooler, you could swarm the board with your little people, with your token, or not your tokens, your army people. Let's see if I know I have one of those army people laying around. I wasn't thinking about this, but one of the little squadron people. I don't have one in this little stack. It's probably used somewhere else. Oh yeah, I do. Here we go. With a bunch of these, because this is literally it. You just play this. Maybe if the 5-drop had, unlimited amount too as well, this deck would actually be even more broken, because you can utilize these. But these are 15,000 power. They're 2 drops. I believe the leader can push them out or something like that, or add them to your hand, so you can basically get combo fodder with these, which is pretty nice. I really like yellow in the essence of what it does. I don't like playing yellow. I don't care for it. I don't want the stuff, but this is, come on now, like, just doesn't. It just keeps on happening. I don't know why, but it does. I have the King Colds as well. I got multiple of these. You know, let's talk about this card. You know what? Since we're talking about this pushes yellow into playing Ginyu. I guess I don't know the whole thing with Ginyu. What makes Ginyu so good? I don't know. But there's this. Things that make this pushes the game in different directions. You can go multiple directions now. That was just yellow. You can go 4 different directions total. You got Frieza you can go with. You have Ginyu you can go with. You have regular cooler and mecha cooler that you go, oh wait, I can't count. There's 5 because you have chilled, right? Let's get that out the way. That's that. We're gonna talk about now. Let's talk about Babidi for a second here with this Majin deck. The Majin deck, again, sticking true to red in a little bit where it can push bodies out, but it's more or less, how do you say? It's a little bit different. It uses the union absorption mechanic, which is a very new mechanic here. So, union absorption, which is really tight. It allows you to bring out bigger people for less of a cost. Whereas in say if I do this Vegeta, I put this Vegeta out there and I actually get him to kill somebody. Next thing you know, I'm bringing out this Majin Buu ball, or the Majin Buu ball that's already in play with this leader, and here's the little ball. You bring out this big old Buu. I really like red. Red is the color that I really wanted to play. The directions from it, it's still on the aggro side. It can still get very aggressive, but the different deck types now. So now you have the Universe 6 side where it's super aggressive. Everything is hitting hard, where you can play this Majin Buu thing where it's still hitting hard, but it's producing bodies and stuff like that. I still haven't mastered a build for this yet, and that's what I tinker around a little bit with. But this card right here is just aggression. This is just pure aggro. That's what this card is. The mind controlling Babidi, which is when he comes into play, you look at the top 7 cards, and anything red with 25,000 attack or less, you can put it into play, except for the mind controlling Babidi, or the evil, what is it? Evil Wizard Babidi, which is fantastic. So now you add a swarm element you can have a swarm element because of the Gotenks, which you can play in the Majin Buu deck. So it's Majin Buu with the fusions of the Gotenks. You got the Gohans in there. You got the big controlling Buu, which is absolutely amazing. Let's talk about, let's get into a little bit of just like the art. The art on some of these SPRs are the absolute truth. This Gohan looks amazing. I absolutely love this Gohan right here. I'm trying to figure out where I put that Majin Buu, because that Majin Buu is literally like the card for me. Look at that. It just looks absolutely amazing. These card arts are fantastic. I really love them. Next, we're gonna go ahead and jump into this Vegito, because this Vegito is game changing. This Vegito right here allows for really, really big plays. Well, not really big plays, but just allows you to use 3 different colors. That is blue, green, and red all together. So, I like that. You can use tricolors. You can pull the father-son Gallic gun out of there, or you can play cell absorption. You can do all kinds of stuff with objections and sensu beans being the really, really the pinnacle of what you need for blue. That's just like those two cards are what you need for blue. It's what makes blue. That is the class identity right there. Is Senzu Bean, objection. Say no more. Let's talk about some cards that shifted. Let's talk about some cards that made another big shift into the game. Let's talk about yellow again. Let's get yellow out the way. Let's talk about this King Cold. You know how King Cold just, when he is permanent, he reduces all Frieza Clan in your hand by 2, whose original cost is 5. So you can have, if you have 2 King Colds on board, congratulations, you just reduced this thing right here by 4. So now he's a 3 cost. And chances are you're going to be on 5 when you bring this out. That means on turn 6 you're playing 2 of these. You get it? This thing is, you're not going to attack with this thing. Anything your opponent tries to do to kill this off, you're going to negate it. This is the truth right here. So, that being said on that, let's talk about their little staple cards right here. These two together are nuts. This is nuts. It would be dope if this was a counter. If this was a counter right here, you might as well just say, oh, I'm getting a free turn. But they already have that with Raccoon's Eraser Gun. But this is just really good because, say I was playing a yellow-green deck, and I was playing this Trunks right here. This Trunks with Triple Strike, and makes everybody a blocker. But I Darkness Eye Beam everything, and he can't block. Now this thing is a Triple Strike, and nobody can block. You feel what I'm saying right there? And then chances are you're already doing damage to him. Death Razor gets rid of, some problematic people, besides the ones with Indestructible. Because Indestructible makes things really tough to get around. Where you have to start playing cards like Mafuba. You have to start playing things like the Father-Son Gallic Gun. Which, we're going to get into these cards in general outside of leaders that make things change. I already hinted on it a little bit, but let's talk about it. Let's talk about these Vegetos for a second. These Vegetos are really good because it allows you to go big, for bare minimum cost. Like you can bring this thing out on turn 5. You can bring out a 7 cost card on turn 5. Absolutely amazing. And it has Triple Strikes. And when this card attacks, it gains 5,000 power for each Son, Goku, and Vegeta in your drop area for the duration of the turn. So now he's a finisher. He's a huge finisher because what you do is, again, you can go back, you can play that Bobbity, you can play this Bobbity in this deck. And if you play Bobbity and they don't stop it, and you get this out, and now guess what? Or if you got 2 of these things out, if they don't negate the attack, now you got 2 of these out here plus whatever else is on your board. Absolutely amazing strategies. Again, this really made Red go in a different direction, and this just helps. The Patora bringing that in is absolutely fantastic. We're gonna jump over here to green. Green. Now, I haven't fully solved the mystery of green. I can hear some of you guys now out there. There's no mystery. You just play Cell. You play Cell, you win. You play Cell, that's it. You know what? The set just came out. Cell is a huge fan favorite. Right now in Super, I wish they would have brought back Cell instead of bringing back Frieza. But I get it. He's a pain in the ass to draw. I get that. But still, I'm just saying, bringing Cell back would have been way better. But then again, he would have been too OP. I think he would have outpowered everybody with some training. Next, we're going to talk about, again, we're going to jump into some more red. But this brings into the idea, same thing I said with the Chilled. You know, these tokens, you know, bringing out tokens. These tokens are a lot bigger. These he plays 3 ghost tokens with 15,000 power. And if you got 4 of those cards in your hand, they have double strike. So now you just brought out 3. Really, you just brought out 4. 15,000 people. Chances are they're gonna have double strike. What more do you want? You know, all of your ghost tokens gain double strike. It's freaking absolutely amazing. Again, it keeps the aggro, and it does still push into a different build of it. So now you're playing Ghost Kamikazes. You're playing these tokens. You know, you're pushing. You know, it allows the push. It allows for big finishing things like the Patara or the Mind Controlling Bobbity, because you can keep that board up. You know. But like I said, what was I talking about? I think I wanted to shift over to green, and I'm colorblind. Anyways, let's get into this green. Green is literally gonna be one of my favorite colors, because I was just like, oh yeah, green is gonna be tight. I like Brawly, but I caved to the Vegeta because, again, that's one of my favorite characters. Who doesn't like Vegeta? Some fanboy out there that likes Goku because he's the main character, and you know, they like to take the easy way out, so they just go with the fan favorite. They just go with the main character because he's going to be strong regardless, unlike those that have to work for it. Jerk. Anyways, we're going to go into this Cell Absorption. Cell Absorption will go good in a Brawly deck. Why? Because you're going to keep your opponent's hand down forever. I like green. I'm not going to talk too much about blue because there wasn't too much in blue that was really like earth ground shaking, because I felt blue had a huge bit of power actually a lot of power in set 1. I felt blue just had everything, and then you give them, you know, the Trunks with a really good artwork, by the way. I wish they would have foiled the sword, like the blue around the sword, gave it some kind of effect with the sword or something like that. But I felt that there wasn't too much. They just gave them added stuff that was needed, like, you know, the helper removal, so the Father-Son Galick Gun. You know, the Trunks right here that allows the free combo, essentially. You know, their leader of, you know, this Trunks leader right here wasn't too bad. He helped Goku Black. I don't have any Goku Black stuff here, or I would have talked about Goku Black. But we can talk about Goku Black a little bit, because we can talk about the God deck that comes with Goku Black. You know, I feel like that's going to be really good. It's cheap. You know, it doesn't take too many promo cards. It takes maybe like one promo, and it's not even a hard promo to get. I think it's like $5 or $10 right now, so I would check those out if you don't already have a good amount of stuff. You know, but I think that pretty much wraps it up. I might have blanked out on green. You know, just sell. You know, sell is sell. I'm working on a Gohan deck actually right now, because I have a good chunk of that. I got literally everything I wanted. I got all of the green stuff. I pulled 3 Kales total. Might be working on a 4th. Not 100% sure on that. You know, but it's all good right now. I really like this set. I hope you guys too. Sorry this video is long, but I got really excited. So this is Merc1 Gaming signing off. Man, you guys stay strong, work hard, and tinker, tinker, and tinker away.